Tonight on Si's Eyes on the Skies.
Temperatures are continuing to increase as the week goes on in Iowa. I have more about that coming up.
Plus, the one and only Jackson will bring us some joy tonight as he has your national forecast. All that and much more as this Tuesday, March 5th edition of Si's Eyes on the Skies starts right now.
Live from Studio 171 in Ames, Iowa, the Iowa State Meteorology Department team of meteorologists brings you the latest weather from around the country and out your front door. Iowa State's longest running television program and the only live weather broadcast on campus starts right now. This is Si's Eyes on the Skies.
Welcome back to this historic show of Si's Eyes. I'm now joined by the one and only Sara. Sara, happy half birthday.
Thank you. It is my half birthday.
What age are you now?
I'm 21 and a half.
21
exactly.
and a half.
Yes, actually a little bit more because technically I was born at 9:57 a.m. so I'm like 21.5 something now.
Well, you did better on your mom than I did. I was born at 3:30 in the morning
Oh,
on my
okay.
birthday.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But anyway, my half birthday is on May 2nd, so I still have about
We'll
2
still be in
months to
school
go.
though. We'll have to celebrate that too.
Right.
Yeah.
22 and a half at that point.
Right.
But anyway, speaking of all this joy and birthdays, how's the weather been? It's been a little bit chilly this week.
It's been really chilly at the beginning of the week. I think it's going to warm up as the week goes on. Finally, we'll start to see those temperatures that are back to normal for this time of the year. Today's highs were pretty much across the upper teens to low 20s across most of the state. Here in Ames, we were sitting at 18 degrees. So again, a little bit below normal, but it is going to be warming up throughout the week. So yeah, we're looking at temperatures breaking their way into the 30s and 40s by the end of the week. We do have a potential for snow on Thursday, however, but it's not going to be too much of an accumulation. And then another system moving in this weekend with rain and snow, which I'll have more about that coming up.
Thanks, Sarah. I probably should take my Christmas tree down. Might be keeping the snow around for too long here. We have a long weather story tonight, so stay with me here. On this date in 1959, a record-breaking snowstorm on March 4th through the 6th began with light snow in western Iowa on the morning of the 4th, but then spread across the state and intensified with heavy snow falling from the night of the 4th through the 5th and all the way into the morning of the 6th across eastern Iowa. The amount of snowfall and its subsequent effects were less severe in western Iowa and grew progressively worse as the storm moved eastward. In central Iowa, snowfall amounts were generally about 6 to 10 inches, not too bad there, while in eastern Iowa, a swath of about 12 to 20 inches, over a foot, fell roughly from Appanoose County through Tama County and northeast to Allamakee County. Those are some odd names, but I like it. Reported storm total snowfall amounts included 12.9 inches at Waterloo, home of the UNI Panthers, 14.5 inches at Decorah, way up in northeast Iowa, 16 inches at Olwine, I'm not sure where that is, and 17 inches at Oskaloosa, down southeast of Des Moines. Winds strengthened steadily during the course of the storm, with speeds reaching 30 to 50 miles per hour at times. That's pretty significant of last week's storm here, and caused extensive blowing and drifting snow. Drifts of 6 to 10 feet deep, taller than me, were common, and in northeast Iowa, a few locations reported drifts of 15 to 20 feet deep. That has to be a record. All transportation and traffic came to a halt, and stranded cars were in some cases completely covered by the drifting snow, I bet, if it's 8 feet deep. I hope they turn around and don't drown at that point. Most stalled and stranded vehicles, we're almost done here, were abandoned until the storm ended, including an estimated 20,000 vehicles in Des Moines alone, where only 9.4 inches of snow fell. Not only that, but businesses and schools were also closed across most of the state, and in some cases, school buses stalled, stranding dozens of children. This is not a laughing matter, but the people behind the screen are laughing too much here. Anyway, one farm family near Vinton sheltered and fed 63 maroon students until the storm abated. Near Plano, a baby was born to a woman stranded in her vehicle. There were unfortunately 19 deaths attributed to the storm, along with dozens of injuries. And we got through that. That was one big winter storm in 1959. That's a good history lesson. And now here's Jackson. Jackson, what is going on around the nation today?
Thank you, Caleb, for that very informative story. Anyways, as you can tell, temperatures are a little low for this time of year, but we'll have more of that coming up later.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us on this very cold, wintry night here in Iowa. Now, here's weather story number 2. I'm just kidding. Now, here's Jackson with a look at what's happening around the nation. Jackson, tell us something good.
Thanks, Caleb. Unfortunately, as you might have guessed, temperatures are a little bit lower than they have normally been around this time of year, with only 17 in Des Moines and 22 up to the north, which is still fairly cold. Now, moving over to the northeast side of the country, we have temperatures about 9 degrees up to 38 degrees, which once again is seasonally a little cold for this time of year. Moving down to the southeast side of the country, we have extremely low temperatures as 40 in Jackson, 45 in Montgomery, and it does get a little bit warmer down in Tampa and Miami. We have Miami 72 degrees, but of course that is at the bottom of Florida, so that's to be expected. But overall, 30s to 50s degrees in the southeast section of the country. Moving over to the southwest section of the country, we have a little bit warmer temperatures than we saw in the southeast. 72 in Las Vegas, so I'm guessing people are having fun down there. 42 up in Elko, and 38 over in Durango. So over on this side of the country, we're going to see a little bit warmer than everybody else, but it's still seasonally cold for this time of year. Up in the northwestern side of the country, we see temperatures from about the 20s to 40s, kind of ranging, with a big temperature gradient between Minnesota and Seattle. So if you're from there, you might want to check locally on how your weather is doing. Looking at satellite radar, we do have some things going on the western side of the country, so expect a little bit of precipitation over there. And the rest of the country seems a little bit cloudy, but not very much else going on. For the watches and warnings, we do have a few flood warnings over here in the western side of the country, so you might want to watch out for that, as well as a couple of freezing warnings down over in the southeastern part of the country. Taking a look at our futurecast, we have some movement across the country, especially over here on the west coast with that precipitation that's moving into the country, and you will see that as that kind of moves along. Our extended forecast, we have 62 in Orlando, Florida for today, moving into 73 on Thursday. That moves all the way up to 83 degrees on Saturday, 87 on Sunday, and then slightly tapers off on Monday and Tuesday with 86 and 84.
Thanks, Jackson, for that good forecast. Now here's tonight's trivia question. It's more of a springtime theme than a winter theme tonight. Why does the sky sometimes turn green/yellowish before a tornado strikes? Is it A, lots of hail help to reflect the other colors of the light spectrum, B, intense lightning, C, an increased level of methane gas, or D, the infamous Wicked Witch of the West is coming with her flying monkeys? One of those is correct, but you have to stay tuned to find out which one is right. Now let's take a look at the week ahead in Iowa with Sara. Sara, what's going on?
Thanks, Caleb. And we're tracking 2 different systems moving in this week, which I'll have more about that after the break. Welcome back to Size Eyes. Currently outside, we're sitting at 15 degrees. The winds are still kind of heavy coming out from the west and the northwest, pulling in that colder air, which is going to be the story for the next couple of days until we see a warm up. Across the state, right now temperatures still sitting in the mid to low teens for most of the part of the state. Again, Ames and Des Moines sitting at 15 and 17, so well below average, but that will be increasing throughout the week. Our wind chill, however, is making our temperatures feel significantly colder. Here in Ames, it feels like -1 out there. Up north, a little bit cooler, -5 in Decorah, -4 in Mason City. But again, that wind chill is going to diminish over the next couple of days, bringing those warmer temperatures. Again, our wind is kind of pushing off east of the state. The heavier winds are sitting in Davenport and the Burlington area. Out west, they're seeing much lighter winds. And again, that's pulling towards the central part of the state as our winds die down tonight. Our satellite and radar pretty calm right now, a little bit of cloud cover in parts of the state, but we're not paying too much attention to that right now. But as we move into the week, Thursday at 6:30 a.m. is when we start to see that first snowfall make its way into the state, bringing lots of cloud cover. The snow is going to be scattered for the most part. We're seeing the heaviest snowfall down to the southwest of the state. And then again, that pushes its way out by Friday morning. We're looking at overcast skies in most of Iowa. And then finally on Saturday morning, we're starting to see that second system make its way in. Right now, the temperature is going to be above freezing, so it's looking like it's going to be rain for the most part, which will eventually push its way across most of the state. Here in Ames right now, we're predicting rain. Up north, again, they might see a mix to snowfall, but again, it's not going to be too much of an accumulation overall. Finally, Sunday, that system will push out, bringing another round of cloud cover. But again, we're not looking at too heavy amounts of snowfall for the most part. Our estimated snowfall here in Ames, we're looking at 2 inches, again, down to the southwestern portion of the state. That's when we start to see those heavier snowfall totals. And if we look here, this is just an estimate right now. We will have a better estimate as we get closer to the day of. But up to the northeastern portion of the state, we're looking at less than an inch. Down a little bit further southwest, we're looking at 1 to 2 inches. Here in the Ames-Des Moines area, 2 to 3. And then anywhere to the southwestern portion of the state, they see the heaviest snowfall from 3 to 6. So our forecast tonight, we're looking at 1 degree. Again, the winds are going to be dying down as we move on throughout the night, but they're about 10 to 15 right now with cloudy skies. Tomorrow, again, we do have about a 10-degree increase at 25 degrees. The sun will make its way out of the clouds for most of the day. So for the most part, it will feel a little bit more like spring tomorrow. So again, Wednesday, we're looking at sunny skies, 25 degrees. Thursday, we're seeing that 70% chance of snowfall here in Ames. Friday, again, we're warming up to 32 finally. Saturday, we start to see that second system move in at a 70% chance, but almost near 40 until Sunday when we break into the 40s, and then back down to the 30s for the next week.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Looks like we're on the incline. Why does the sky sometimes turn green before a tornado? To revisit our trivia question. More of a springtime theme. Is it A, lots of hail helps to reflect other colors of the light spectrum, other colors of the rainbow? B, intense lightning strikes? C, an increased level of methane gas, which is a trace gas in the atmosphere? Or D, the one and only Wicked Witch of the West is coming to town? What's your guys' expert analysis?
Well, my expert analysis, I would have to say it wouldn't be D or C, and that is just from a simply very general.
Well, we do have some methane gas in the atmosphere, though, right?
That's true. We do have some methane gas, but I don't think that that would necessarily be brought out by tornadoes, if you know what I'm saying.
Sure. How about you, sir?
I mean, Jackson just kind of persuaded me. I didn't really know that it wasn't C, but now I don't think it's C. So I'm gonna go with A, I think.
The benefits of scientific communication.
I would have to agree with A, just because the
Yeah.
hail would kind of reflect the light in a certain kind of way, and that could be, I mean,
It could be the
different
reason
color,
why.
you know,
Mm-hmm. I've never really thought about it. Yeah.
something like that.
Well, let's find out what the answer is here. And the answer to our trivia question is A, right. The hail aspect really reflects a lot of the other colors of the spectrum,
Okay.
right?
That
A
makes
lot of
sense.
those ice properties in clouds. Not
So-
only did it make snow, but they also changed the lighting.
Okay, so it wasn't that this guy was sick.
No,
from
not
being spun
quite.
around too much.
And it doesn't always have to turn green as well. Not
Yeah.
every tornado strike is going to have a green sky, but a lot of people do comment about that.
Yep.
It looks like we're heading closer to spring.
Finally,
The equinox is only a
right?
few weeks away.
I know. I always say I just want temperatures above freezing, and I think we're finally going to get there by the end of the week. so.
Unfortunately, we've still been stuck there for a while. I mean, the
Right.
temperatures have been really, really, really low. So
Yeah.
there's still ice all over the place. I see people slipping every time I go anywhere. And hopefully that the temperature will kind of
Right.
fix itself up and fix that for us. So.
Maybe once I take my Christmas tree down, it'll help to change the weather, right?
That'll probably help. I'm sure that
Yeah.
will.
And,
I'm sure
and
that's
same
very
thing with
dependent
my
on.
Rudolph face as well. My Rudolph
Probably should
decoration.
take down all the Christmas decorations.
Yeah, that's why the cold's staying. It's
Yeah.
because all your Christmas
Right.
decorations.
So the second
Yep.
you take them down, spring.
Yep.
All right.
Right.
Here comes spring break pretty soon.
All right.
I'm excited though. Well, thanks. That concludes tonight's show. Please be sure to like us on our Facebook page and follow us on our Twitter account. You can find every show on YouTube under our Size Eyes channel. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on Thursday.